Did you know that in C++ you don't always need to create your own functions? The language already provides powerful predefined functions that can calculate square roots, find string length, and even check characters instantly, right? In this video, I'll show you how to use these read mode functions to make your C++ program faster and easier. We are going deeply to see how we can use predefined functions to develop our C++ project easily, right? So before starting, for example, I can just show you here simple example. You see now here, see what we have. We have just a statement that is displaying square root of 25 equal to, then we use this function sqrt 25. Also here, string length of hello is, and we use this function. And also here we use uppercase of a is, then we use this to upper, then we over here. But actually, as you see, there is no any function defined here to calculate and display this square root, this string length, and this uppercase. But as you see, once I run it, let me show you before starting to run, see what we get, and ask yourself where these functions or this output comes from. You see here, square root of 25 is 5. As you see here, root of 25 is 5. String length of hello, you can just count 1, 2, 3, 4, then 5. To mean length of hello is 5. It's calculated by using this string length function, which is already predefined, because as you see, there is no where we define it, right? Also for uppercase of a is, then we use this to upper here to display uppercase of a, and output is uppercase of a is then capital A, right? So as you see, it's working. Now I'm going to show you clearly step by step how you can now use these predefined functions. So, but please, if you are new here, don't miss subscribe, like this video, and share it to your colleagues so that they can also learn with us in GOO Coding Academy, right? So without spending much more time, let's get started. Yes guys, before starting, let me show you what we are going to run. First of all, we are going to see meaning of predefined functions in C++. Then after, we will see categories of predefined functions used in C++ and example for each category, right? Then also we will see or do complete particular example that integrate all categories of functions in C++ program, so that you can be aware of how these predefined functions are working, right? So that's why I'm recommending you to watch this video until the end, so that you will end with all or full package of these skills here, right? So let us start by meaning of predefined function. Yes, here predefined function in C++ explained with examples. Then here, when we say predefined function in C++, predefined function also, it's also called library function or built-in functions, are functions that are already created in C++ standard library. To mean are already created. You don't need to create them, you don't need to develop them, you just use them, but are already developed, right, in standard library of this C++ programming language. Now, programmers can use them directly without rewriting their own implementation or just their code. Here let us see categories of predefined function. There are mainly 3 categories of predefined functions. The first one is mathematical functions. Those functions are that used in mathematical calculations, right? So the second one is string functions, we will see, and also there is another one called character functions. Those functions used to manipulate characters. So let us see now what mathematical functions and how they works. Here, mathematical functions are those functions used to perform mathematical calculations. You see, so to use them, you should include C math or just math.h header in your program. We will see it. We will take a simple example. Then here, let me show you some examples of mathematical functions. Here, as you see, there are 3 examples of mathematical functions, but there's many. These are some of examples, right? Let us start by sqrt. This is a function for finding square root. And for example, here when we say sqrt 25, output will be 5. To mean is the square root of 25. Also this power. This function relies number to power. To mean it's used to calculate a given power, right? For example, we can take 2 power 3 and we'll get 8 as output. We'll take a simple example, don't worry. Then also we have apps. These apps, it's absolute value. For example, you know that absolute value is used to print out the positive number, even though it has a negative sign, but when we use this absolute value, we print just positive. For example, here apps minus 10. To me, that output will be 10 by removing this negative sign, right? So here, in order to be aware of how it works, let us take practical example of using mathematical function in C++ program. Yes, here what we need to do, first of all, we need to include that CMAT, right? That CMAT header. First of all, we need to include here CMAT, since we are going to use the mathematical functions, right? Like this one. Then after this, we don't need to make any declaration, we don't need to develop any function, just we need to print out, see out, just like square root of 25 is like this one. Then we print out our square root by just using this predefined function sqrt with value here 25, this one. Then we just click, let us use end line here, since we are going to develop another statement. So this is one for square root, as we have seen in our table, right? Then for power, we can just also write like this one. We use power here. We can just write like this one, power, like just let us write 2 power 3, for example. 2 power 3 easy. Then we just use here power function, this one, then 2 and 3, right? Then we just print this end line here. Then also for absolute value, you can just use this one here, write the absolute value of just negative 10 or just negative 2. Here we write the absolute value of negative just 10, for example, easy. Then we use absolute here, absolute function, just abs, you see like this one. Then we write our negative 10 here. Actually, once we run this program, let us first of all make comparison to check whether there is some errors. As you see here, there is error. Here we should use double sign here, as you see here. So let us then make comparison to check whether there is some errors. To mean that, cause I just copied all of here should be 2 sign. That's why we are getting error here. So let us now make compilation. Yeah, you see there is no error now. Let us run to check for an output now. Let me show you now our output. You see? Do you see here output? Square root of 25 is 5. 2 power 3 is 8, cause it's just 2 3 times is 8, and absolute value of minus 10 is 10, right? As you see, are working. So this is how you can use a mathematical predefined functions. So without spending much more time, let us continue with string functions. Yes, now for string functions, let us see. Here string functions are those functions used for manipulating string, right? To manipulate strings, we need these string functions. To use them, we should now include C string header in your program, right? As we did for mathematics, for just mathematical functions. Also here we need to introduce this header in our program, C string, right? Then here let us see some examples of string functions. Here there is what you call string length. String length, this is used to find string length, right? To find length of certain string. For example, here string length with our word which is hello. To me that output will be 5 because we just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So output is 5 as we have just 5 characters here. Then also string copy. String copy is just for copying string. You can just write like this one, string copy AB, right? Then here for here string cut, just for concatenation, for just joining strings. So we can just write string cut AB. To mean here we want to join this A and B, right? So also here we need to make practical example of using string functions so that you can be aware of how they work in C++ program. So let us see. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, as we already said, we need first of all to introduce this header, include. Now we are going to use string. That's why we need to write a C string like this one, so that you can deal with string predefined functions. Then here let us just write a simple program that shows how you can use these string functions. Let us just make initialization. Let us write char text. We are going to use text. Then here we need this operator which is equal to, let us give it value, let us give it hero. For example, hero. You see, this is our variable initialization, right? Then here we need now to display, for example, length of this word, this hello, right? We just write out length of hello is hello, length of what hello is like this one. Then we use our predefined function called string length, string length like this one. Then we insert our word here or our value here. That value is now text because this is our variable hold this hello. That's why we need to choose here text like this one. Then we need to put here semicolon, right? So let us now first of all make compilation to check what we get. Let us just make compilation, check whether there is any error. You see now is clear, there is no error. Let us run it, check for an output whether we get a 5. Yeah, correct, fantastic. You see here you see the length of word hero is 5 because we count 1 for H, 2 for E, 3 for L, 4 for another L, now 5 for O, right? That's why you get 5. So this is how string function is working, right? So let us see now how about character functions. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, without spending much more time, here for character functions, these character functions are those functions used for manipulating characters. To use them, you should include this header, which is CC type, in your program, right? So let us some of examples about these character functions. Here for character functions, we can see these two upper. Suppose we have a characters and you want to convert them into uppercase. We use these two upper function. These two upper function, as you see in the description, is used to convert characters to uppercase into uppercase, right? Then two lowercase, the same. Here you just convert to lowercase. Is digit, as you see, this is what we call logical value, right? This is the logical value where we answer with just true or false, as this function is used to check whether our character is digits. Then is alpha. This is used to check whether our character is alphabet, right? So now also we need to make practical example using character function in C++ program to check and understand how this function is working. Yes, now here what we need is our header, which is CC type. Include then CC type like this one. You see, you should first of all include this header. Then we need now to display just uppercase of a given letter. Yes guys, here after introducing this header, we just need to make a declaration of our character. Let us use char character, which is equal to like A here. Let us use A. Then we need now to display our message saying that the character of A is. Now here we just need to use this char. Then here to upper, remember we use to upper. This char is for data type character, this one. Then we need now to use our predefined function, which is to upper. To make that, we need to put it into uppercase. Then our variable, which is this one, right? Then you click here and write semicolon, right? So this is how you can display or convert the lowercase character into uppercase character, right? We use this to upper method. So let us make compilation, check for errors. You see now there is no error. We can just run to check for an output. Yes, fantastic. You see, yeah, it's working properly. The uppercase of A is this A, which is uppercase of lowercase a, right? So actually, as you see, are working properly. So you don't need to develop your own function while we are dealing with a C++ program. Sometimes we need to use those predefined functions, right? Yes guys, as you complete this practical task, now this is the end of our today's lesson. If you have any question, please let us know in the comment section. And if you are new here, don't miss subscribe, like this video, and share it to your colleagues so that you can also learn with us. So see you in the next lesson.